What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral94, and it's time for me to talk about Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee again. I haven't made a video about these games ever since the trailer when the games were announced, and I've been mostly quiet about these games on purpose, even though I have plenty of thoughts and had plenty of things going through my mind as the days and months went by with all the news happening about the games and everything. But I was waiting on purpose for them to be released. About a week has passed since then. Sales figures have shown up, and I do have quite a few things to say. Now, the games topped the Japanese chart selling 600,000 copies, around 600,000 copies just in Japan, and that was very amazing. That's a lot of sales for sure. And it's been confirmed now that the game worldwide has sold within the first week, give or take around 3 million. I believe that's what VG Charts is saying anyway, and a few other sources. And that these are good numbers, and this is a good and bad thing. But the sales are definitely pretty solid, and it's become the fastest selling Nintendo Switch game from what I understand, topping even the Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, it's a good and a bad thing for a couple of reasons, and I was waiting to see sales because I knew in my heart that, okay, this is a Pokemon game. They're advertising the shit out of it. It's the first game, the first main Pokemon game, or you could say not main, but the first Pokemon RPG game on the Nintendo Switch. It'll probably sell well. It's definitely going to sell well. They're really pushing for it. It's Kanto remake, the best graphics for a Pokemon game yet, probably. So it had all of these sort of check marks to succeed. And but on the other hand on the other side of the spectrum, I thought, you know what, maybe everything is aligned for the games to sell, but maybe there's a small percentage it's actually not going to sell. Like even more from the hardcore guys won't pick it up, and it's gonna send a grave message to Nintendo, and everything won't go as planned. But I was wrong. That small part of me was wrong, and indeed, it sold very well. I knew it was going to sell well, but maybe there was a small chance it wasn't going to. But this is a good thing for one, because it's a Pokemon game. You want it to sell, you know. You want the Pokemon company to succeed. You don't want them to make a game and then not sell. That's bad. You know, it's good that people are interested in Pokemon, and maybe this is going to get a lot of new faces, a new younger demographic, and just get new people playing Pokemon maybe. But on the other hand, it is bad because it sends a message to the Pokemon Company and Nintendo that, okay, we tried this different thing and it works. So maybe we should make more. Now they did say, of course, and the proper core Pokemon RPG is going to be coming, and they're not stupid. They know that if they just quit making proper RPGs, people are going to get pissed. But you best believe that when companies do something like this and then it succeeds, they'll keep it in mind. They'll be taking their notes. They won't just let this, okay, we made this Let's Go game, we're not going to make another one like it. Since it's selling very well, you best believe they might continue the formula, make more games like this, or maybe just take aspects of this game and forever input them in the core RPG games. The core RPG games, in my opinion, you know, I still like them. From Black and White onwards, they were still great games. I like them. But basically, ever since Black and White, they started to go in a downhill spiral. Basically, going 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, sort of thing. Introducing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool mechanics, but removing a lot of mechanics and changing the way the game is, eliminating the mystery aspect and the exploration, the sort of you make your own story, you make your own adventure, you have your own freedom. And that wasn't a good thing for me. And a lot of the hardcore older guys, we want that sort of exploration, that sort of mystery aspect. Make your own story with the Pokemon games. You basically can do whatever the hell you want. Nobody's holding your hand. You discover things as you go. And nowadays, you know, the legendaries are handed to you, or they're so like central in the story. Just all these aspects, a lot of aspects when it comes to the design of the games. So the main Pokemon games, when you think about it, you know, it's not like they've been going so great. So, you know, when a Pokemon like Pokemon game like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, succeed, it sends an even bigger message. The main games are going to be coming, like I've said, but you best believe they're taking notes from these games. Now, I do want to say though, while I do sympathize about the people that don't like how the Pokemon games have uh, have been turning up and the direction these games went, things like the review bombing that's been going on Metacritic, just people. I'm hoping it's kids, younger people, you know, going there and reviewing the games 0 out of 10 and 1 out of 10. That's dumb. That's pathetic. Just because it's not a proper RPG Pokemon game like the ones we're used to with all the mechanics and stuff doesn't mean it's a 0 out of 10 game. That's pathetic. That's objectively wrong, I'd say, even though reviews are supposed to be subjective. But that's pretty pathetic. If you think a game like this is 0 out of 10, then you've never played like shitty games in your life. That's all I have to say. They're basically doing this to sort of bring the score down and just sort of give bad press to the game so that people don't buy it. And I sympathize because like I said, if this game does well, which it did do well, I don't know if the sales are gonna drop, but they probably won't. Since it's doing well, the Pokemon company is taking notes. They definitely won't just do something like this, create this game, and then just, oh, let's never do it again. Let's never do something like this again. They're definitely taking their notes. They're going to keep this stuff in mind. But I do sympathize. However, it is wrong. For me, I'm not going to be picking this game, of course, because it's simplistic, but because I do believe that I don't want to give a sale, give sort of my money to support this game because it does send a message. If this game does so very well, then Nintendo's gonna be like, hey, this new style, maybe it's worth it for us to do more funky stuff like this game. It's okay for them to try and do different things. It's not, they have the right if they want to make a different sort of kind of Pokemon game like this one. You know, they can do so if they want to, and if we don't like it, then it's all right not to buy it. Nobody's wrong in this case. And if you're a Pokemon hardcore guy or just a regular Pokemon fan that played the previous RPGs, maybe like me, but you have experience playing the other Pokemon games and you want to buy this, you want to try it out. I'm not going to say, oh, don't buy it, don't support it for XX reason, even though, once again, you know, with sales, the Pokemon company's taking notes, but if you want to support it, it's up to you. And if things have to change, and if a lot of people buy this and the Pokemon games change forever, so be it. I mean, I'm not gonna put my hand on it and give that thing a hand and help that sort of reality come true. But I understand that maybe things like this need to happen. So of course, if that eventually happens, then it means probably won't be playing Pokemon games anymore. But I'm not gonna. I thought about making videos talking about, hey, if you support this game, this and this might happen. But then I thought, no, it's not right. If people wanna buy it, they have a right to buy it, check it out, and enjoy it. You know, it does have a lot of cool aspects. To be honest, the catching mechanic, minus that it doesn't really work that well when the Switch is docked. Like when you're playing on the TV, I've heard and read from reviews that the mechanic doesn't work that well. It works better when you have it portable. But I like the fact that you go into grass, but you actually see the Pokemon and you have to interact with them if you want to fight them. I think that's pretty cool. And the sort of combos you do, catching combos, that's stuff I dig. And to be honest, it doesn't really bother me so much that they maybe removed abilities. I think they kept natures, which I don't know, or I think they removed natures too. But these sort of removing the mechanics that came afterwards, like in third gen and stuff, that's kind of cool. It really creates like a different metagame, like the old Yellow game was, where things were simpler, but they were also in a way special, unique. But then they didn't really give us any proper Wi-Fi capabilities like battling and introducing more Pokemon than the original 150. So it just makes it like it doesn't really create a metagame. If it just created a metagame and it was its own thing and it had more competitive single player features too, like a battle tower, battle frontier sort of thing, then those would have been enough to sell me, honestly, even though it's just a more isolated Pokemon experience, removing a lot of the features. But they didn't do that. And I don't own a Switch. I was gonna buy a Nintendo Switch. I want to buy a Nintendo Switch, but I'm not like, swimming in money. So this game was gonna sell me on it. The Pokemon Nintendo Switch game that was gonna come out before we knew it was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was the one that was supposed to sell me on it. Generation 8, what have you. Jumping aboard. There's a lot of Nintendo Switch games that I want to buy, but I'm taking my time. I don't have to jump in just yet. Waiting to get the Nintendo Switch, the new one that's gonna come out eventually. I'm not gonna make the mistake that I made with the 3DS. So yeah, it has a lot of good aspects, like I've said, but it's probably not for me. And like I said, I don't want to spend money and support something like this that contributes to Pokemon changing even more. Like the games have changed so much to no return. Maybe that's just a natural evolution, like Tamashi Hiroka said a couple of years ago when she made a good video about the upcoming Sun and Moon games. Man, I really miss her videos. Maybe that's stuff that needs to happen. Maybe eventually they might make a simple ass Pokemon game like this that appeals to me. But for now, I didn't pick it up. If you guys want to pick it up, of course you're free to do so. If you want to support it, it's your money, it's your decision to make. It definitely, like the scores it got from IGN and other places, they're basically at the right place, I'd say. It's not sort of super great, but it's not a terrible game either. There's sort of a 8 out of 10, 7.5, sort of, it's where it stands, I'd say. It's good graphics, the standard Pokemon aspects you would expect, but a lot of the toned down features. So still a good game, but not the greatest Pokemon game for sure. I think that's all I really have to say. This video is a wrap, like the cheat guy says. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys subscribe and leave a like. Those are basically my thoughts on Let's Go. It did pretty well, as I expected. I kind of hoped, a part of me hoped it wasn't going to do well, so the Pokemon company got a message, okay, this funky stuff we're trying is not the way to go. But since it's sold and it's still selling, it's probably going to keep selling, then this definitely sends them a message that maybe if we do stuff like this, it's not bad. And maybe we should try some of the stuff we tried on this game and put them on the new core game too. So that could suck. That could really suck. But that's just me. If you're not subscribed to my channel, now is a good time to do so. This is a TCG channel primarily, but when it comes to major news like the video games, of course I talk about them from time to time. I play the Pokemon games. They've been half my life basically. You have no idea how many hours I spent on Pokemon games. Crazy. But anyways, this video is done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe. Leave a like. Share this with your friends. Cerebral 54 was say.